What is up, guys? We are starting the big trip from Pittsburgh to California. Adam, my college roommate, he is crazy and he decided that he wants to drive the rental truck. I'm driving my car, so we are starting here in Pittsburgh and we're going all the way to California. So hopefully we make it, and yeah. Oh, and we have Lily. You ready for the trip? Yeah? Okay. Okay. So we're about maybe 3 hours into the trip, 2 hours into the trip, and I really didn't get to talk about anything like yesterday or anything. So all day yesterday we loaded the truck, which again, every time I've moved it's been like around Pittsburgh, so you move over a couple days. Like, you rent a truck and you move the big stuff, and then the little stuff kind of goes, day after day. But with this, like, I'm moving to California, so I have to do it all. It all has to go on the same truck. So you never realize how much shit you have until there's a lot of shit. And yeah, so that was interesting. So I was dead tired, and then this morning, I had to basically clean my old apartment, which is never fun. I'm not a fan of cleaning in general, and to clean an entire apartment on no sleep and then do that in the morning and then start driving, it hasn't been a good start to the trip. But we're on the road, we're going, and Lily seems to be doing pretty good. This is my first solo trip with Lily, as somebody almost just hit me. But this is my first solo trip with Lily, so it should be interesting to see how we do together, but I think she's going to be good. We got her little basket here. I don't even know if you guys can see that, but yeah. So things are going okay, I would say. Update, it is raining now. Doesn't make the drive any more fun, but I have these dried sweet strawberries from Good and Gather, and they are bomb. Good morning, everybody. It is the start of day 2, and I didn't really record anything last night because after dinner and the last 3 hours of the trip, I was like literally dead. So yesterday we went from Pittsburgh all the way to St. Louis. So we drove through, obviously, Pennsylvania, a little bit through West Virginia, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, and now we're in Missouri, staying right outside St. Louis. The drive wasn't all that bad so far. Just kind of monotonous, right? You're just sitting there driving, listening to a bunch of different music and obviously some podcasts as well. And Lily has, she's gotten used to the long drive, her little box thing that I got her. She's really used to that now, which is good. So yeah, so it hasn't been all that bad. Yesterday was like 9.5 hours of driving. Today's gonna be just about the same. We're going from basically St. Louis to a little town called Liberal, Kansas, which is like literally a small little town. I think there's only 2 hotels in the entire town, so that should be interesting to say the least. But yeah, I feel a lot better. Last night, wow, my mind's gone. Last night was the first night that I actually got a decent amount of sleep. I've taken a shower, I've shaved, I feel better. So ready to start day 2. How do you feel about the first day?
First day is pretty tiring, man. I'll tell you what. If I never see another 18-wheeler again in my life, I think I'll be a happy camper. But yeah, it was interesting. I'll tell you. I will say.
How do you feel about the first day, Lily?
She just wants my food.
You just want some food, huh? So I'm driving through Kansas right now, and it might be the most boring drive that I've ever been on. One, I literally can see so far in front of me because it's just all flat. So I can see that there's nothing, and there's just like fields of nothing. There's like nothing planted, it's just fields, and there's just absolutely nothing. And I will be on this road for another, I think, 5 hours. So I'm in the last like half an hour of my drive, and the sun has just set, or it's like just setting, and it kind of like reminds you of those like 80s movies that were like filmed in like the Midwest, kind of. I don't know, it's just kind of cool. It's kind of a nice way to end the day. It is the end of driving day number 2, so we basically have hit the halfway point, which is good, and I'm not completely dead, and I don't feel super tired, although when I got to my hotel room, I instantly got in the shower because I felt like crap. But yeah, so we're halfway there. Today we went from basically St. Louis all the way to this little town. Actually, it's a bigger town compared to the towns that I've been driving through, but a town called Liberal, Kansas, which is the home of US beef, which is probably why it smells so bad here. But yeah, the drive wasn't bad at all. I think it was just about 9.5 hours. And once we got past Kansas City and got away from the city, it was really relaxing, and just like these long roads where there was like hardly any traffic. It wasn't a big highway, and it was just nice and relaxing, and a great way to kind of end the day. And it actually, at least for me, it made the driving go by, a lot quicker. So I just finished some work here, and now I'm going to go to bed. And tomorrow we go from Kansas all the way to Flagstaff, Arizona. So that should be interesting as well. And I think the scenery is going to change quite a lot on that leg of the trip. So we'll hopefully get some good shots of all of that. We are starting day 3. I'm already in the car because this is going to be the longest day. I think it's 10.5 hours of driving, so it should be pretty long. Just leaving Liberal, Kansas, and I just see all nothingness. So hopefully this drive isn't that horrible. But Lily got her food. We had McDonald's. There is a McDonald's in Liberal, so we had McDonald's for breakfast, and we are on our way. I'm driving along here, just went through Texas, now into New Mexico. I'm on this little county road, which is kind of weird. But yeah, the landscape has changed dramatically. It went from like Kansas was a little bit greener. As you got into Texas, it got a little kind of deserty, and now when we're in New Mexico, it's much more desolate. You can see some mountains in the distance. Probably can't see it in the video, but yeah, just cruising along. Well, that is an oversized load for sure. All right, heading into Arizona now. You probably won't see the sign because there's a truck, but the sign is right there. And now
I'm in Arizona. So happy to be out of New Mexico. New Mexico is just like all nothingness, being desert, and I just wasn't a fan. 149 miles to Flagstaff. That is where we're staying for tonight. So about just over 2 hours to go, and yeah, just driving. Good morning, guys. It is just after 6 a.m. on our last travel day, so we will be getting to San Diego today. Hopefully you can hear me. I didn't record anything last night. We drove for 10.5 hours yesterday, all through New Mexico and into Arizona. New Mexico was the most boring drive I've ever been on, and I was so happy to get out of that state. But I can't believe that we drove 10.5 hours yesterday. Just a long day. And today we will be arriving in San Diego. And I can't believe that we left Pittsburgh only a couple days ago, and we're going to be all the way across the country in San Diego. As we go across this bridge, we get into California, and we are on the last leg of the trip into California. Alright, here is the California sign right here. We are on our last leg of the trip into California, into San Diego. So it really looks like I'm in the desert now. I don't think I've ever driven through anything like this where there's just like sand dunes and stuff. It's actually pretty interesting. This is right when you get into California, around Yuma, California, and yeah, just a whole bunch of sand, which is pretty crazy.
Alright guys, so finally, after what, 3 days?
At least,
Three,
yeah.
well, technically
3 full
four.
days.
Technically four.
Yeah, four.
Technically
yeah.
4 days of driving. We made it here to San Diego. We just had dinner, and we're like both basically beat after such a long trip. But it was such a cool trip because there's so many parts of the country that we drove through that I've never seen. I think my favorite is probably Arizona. Like going from Flagstaff down to Phoenix was like absolutely beautiful. I think that was my favorite part. What about
It was definitely a very good part. I think my favorite part, which kind of floored me, was going through Middle America. The grass fields, just you were able to see a sunset over the horizon on land. Most of the time you have to go to the beach to see that. So on land, it was kind of cool, I think. It was definitely interesting.
Yeah, so that is the trip, guys. If you watch this video, I definitely appreciate it. But yeah, stay tuned for more videos from San Diego.